What if I told you, Mr. Potter, that we have a certain bill to pass, Mr. Potter? You remember Harry Potter? Well, JK Rowling was the author of that book, right? And recently there have been some little bit of a backlash on her for her statements about the cast of Harry Potter. It appears that many of the cast have been quite vocal about their support for transitioning kids. I think I don't need to go into what that means, but you understand they are all for okay with transitioning of kids. And in case you are unaware of what it takes to transition the kids, I would accept that you're either under a rock or you just don't care. But to hopefully help you, please go look and see what the actual procedure for transitioning a child would entail for your own benefit and so you can understand where her stance is coming from. She has been quite upset and has gone on record to say, I will never forgive them for their stance on backing transitioning children in the trans community. The backlash comes from especially the cast members who she has a problem with. Now, if you were to look at the individual cast members, you'll understand exactly why they would say what they said. I think it's more than half, little more than half, 3/4 of them have all participated in one way or another in the LGBTQ roles within acting. And this is true, it's on film, there for everybody to see. Either by their main character or the character that they've been interacting with, they've expressed and acted in a way that would be supportive of it. Now, however you live your life, you live your life. You notice what I said, you live your life, but don't expect me to accept the way you live your life. Okay, good. Keep that to yourself. Don't try to make it me and my life. That's not going to happen. JK is of the same ilk. That's how you want it, fine. But now you're talking about including and dealing with children on a level so nefarious, and I cannot abide by it. She was under heat a few years ago for something similar with the LGBTQ community. Now she's under heat for this particular statement. But is she wrong? That's the real question. Is JK Rowling wrong? Should she be allowed to have her own viewpoint and espouse it? But not only that, is she wrong in her viewpoint? I would venture to say she is not wrong. Because you are talking about taking the life, pretty much, of innocent children for the pleasure of adults. Let's be honest what it is, okay? Like we're not going to sissyfoot around nothing. We're not sugarcoating anything for anybody. That's what this is. You are making children more accessible by adults who do not have good intentions for them. And the whole cast that started off as kids, ironically, are the ones now pushing for that. Look, I remember watching Harry Potter. I'm telling you now, I watched the entire series of it. I watched them all. Quite engrossed with them. Very engrossed with them. Not realizing I was letting, one, witchcraft into my mind, but two, the kinds of things that were coming off the screen at me could easily stick. And what they do off screen, they bring to the screen. Y'all may not want to believe that, but it is very much true. We are told we live in a spiritual world. This is going to be a spiritual battle. And when you put yourself in front of dark entities, you will indeed be tainted by it. It'll mess with your thought process. It'll mess with the way you think. It'll mess with the way you make decisions. So I cannot fault JK Rowling. Now, I may not agree with everything she says. I may not agree with her stance on anything. But I commend her for at least standing on something principled, and not backing down because people say, well, take money from you. Well, and back down because we're not going to support you. Well, don't support. But the cast is doing something quite crazy. They were once kids on screen acting. And now they're advocating for the destruction of children as we speak. But then again, it's par for the course for Hollywood. You have to participate in that ritualistic mindset. You have to become so familiar with the dark that your every statement reflects it. That's what we got. It's par for the course. We can't escape this. Christians, you serve God. You do what he says. Did you know that the people in Hollywood serve their dad too? They serve their God. They serve Satan. And they do what he wants them to do. It's natural. God even told you, choose this way who you must serve. He asked you to choose. They've chosen. They have chosen. Have you? have you chosen? Stand on something. If for no other reason I can applaud JK is for standing on something. It could be the stepping stone for her stepping on even more things that would go against this agenda. I can only hope. But I could also be disappointed. I could also get smacked in the face just like I did with Cat Williams, believing the hype that he was changing. Or I can believe the same hype with just about anybody that said they were changing, and then 5 days later they come out with something crazy and you realize, wait a minute, you were playing both sides against the middle. But that hasn't happened yet with JK. Yet. But what she is standing on is one that we can all get behind. What is that? Leave the kids alone. What is your fascination with the children? I can answer that question very easily. If God knew to say, raise up a child in the way he should go, you don't think the devil know that too? You don't think the devil knows, hey, I'm going to raise up a child in the way he should go, that I think he should go? They're doing exactly what we do, just for their father. That's why they can't leave the kids alone. They want to have their own version, and they do it so successfully. And sometimes we don't say jack. I'll be surprised, and please surprise me. Please, people, please surprise. Surprise 2STRONG, where you come forward and start to boost the algorithm by sharing this particular thing, because it matters. The future of our country is one thing that's at stake, yes. But the lives of our children are what's really at stake, and that's way more important. Because without them, you got no country. Without them, you got no future. And without them, you have no offspring to talk about further down the line. So thank you, Ms. Rowling. I hope that this is the first of many stances you take against this crazy agenda. I hope, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's not. And as for the rest of us, take heed. They will make themselves very approachable. They'll make themselves very loved for you to accept them. Harry Potter cast was an amazing cast. They were great actors. Storyline was good. Music was good. The cinematography, all of that was very endearing. But that's exactly how the devil got Eve. He's not changed his tactics. The only thing he's changed is the audience. Please don't sit in front of his TV.